The English Wikipedia is, along with the Simple English Wikipedia, one of two English-language editions of Wikipedia, an online encyclopedia. It was founded on January 15, 2001 as Wikipedia's first edition and, as of November 8, 2022, has the most articles of any edition, at 6,572,444. As of November 2022, 11% of articles in all Wikipedias belong to the English language edition. This share was more than 50% in 2003. The edition's 1 billionth edit was made on January 13, 2021. Production. Background. All Out is a pay-per-view held annually during Labor Day weekend by All Elite Wrestling since 2019. It is one of AEW's big four PPVs, which also includes Double or Nothing, Full Gear, and Revolution, their four biggest shows produced quarterly. On July 13, 2022, AEW announced that the fourth All Out event would take place on September 4 at the Now Arena in the Chicago suburb of Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Additionally, as part of All Out Week, both of AEW's weekly television programs, Wednesday Night Dynamite and Friday Night Rampage, aired live from the same arena on August 31 and September 2, respectively. Tickets for all three events went on sale on July 15 with bundle packages available. There was also a FanFest on Saturday, September 3 at the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center. All Out itself was preceded by a one-hour pre-show called 0 Hour, which aired for free on AEW's social media platforms. Storylines. All Out featured professional wrestling matches that involved different wrestlers from pre-existing feuds and storylines. Wrestlers portrayed heroes, villains, or less distinguishable characters in events that built tension and culminated in a wrestling match or series of matches. Storylines were produced on AEW's weekly television programs, Dynamite and Rampage, the supplementary online streaming shows, Dark and Elevation, and the Young Bucks YouTube series Being the Elite. On the June 3, 2022, episode of Rampage, AEW World Champion CM Punk, who had won the title just days prior at Double or Nothing, announced that he was injured and required surgery. He initially wanted to relinquish the title, however, AEW President Tony Khan decided that an interim champion would be crowned until Punk's return, after which, Punk would face the interim champion to determine the undisputed champion. Jon Moxley was crowned as interim champion in Punk's place at AEW x NJPW, Forbidden Door on June 26. At the Quake by the Lake special episode of Dynamite on August 10, Punk made his return and confronted Moxley, entering into a title dispute. A match to determine the undisputed AEW World Champion was then scheduled at All Out. However, due to heated confrontations between the two, it was announced that the match would instead take place on the August 24 episode of Dynamite, where Moxley quickly defeated Punk due to the latter re-aggravating an injury, becoming the undisputed AEW World Champion in the process. The following week on Dynamite, Moxley issued an open contract for a championship match at All Out, in which Punk signed the contract. The championship rematch was then subsequently scheduled for All Out. Post-event media scrum. In the post-event media scrum, CM Punk took issues with certain members of the wrestling media as he addressed backstage issues with colleagues in AEW. Punk first described Scott Colton as someone who didn't want to see me at the top, discussed their lawsuits against each other, and said he hasn't been friends with this guy since at least 2014, late 2013. Later on, Punk stated Colton shares a bank account with his mother, which tells you all you need to know about what kind of character that is. Punk denied rumors that he had attempted to get Colton fired, which AEW President Tony Khan corroborated. Punk also criticized irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs, saying that they couldn't fucking manage a target and accused them of having spread lies and bullshit and put into the media that I got fired when I have fuck all to do with him, want nothing to do with him. Do not care where he works, where he doesn't work, where he eats, where he sleeps. Punk later indicated that he was trying to sell tickets, fill arenas, while the EVPs were acting as stupid guys think they're in Reseda, which was where Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was based. Next, Punk criticized Hangman Adam Page as an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck who went into business for himself on national television, and further alluded to Page as somebody that hasn't done a damn thing in this business, jeopardized the first $1 million house that this company has drawn off of my back. Punk later said regarding Page, "Our locker room, for all the wisdom and brilliance it has, isn't worth shit when you have an empty-headed idiot, who has never done anything in the business, do public interviews and say, I don't really take advice." Punk went on to describe MJF as a supremely talented individual, but also said that MJF likes to shit where he eats instead of watering the grass. Multiple wrestling publications, including Fightful, PW Insider, and the Wrestling Observer newsletter, later reported that Punk's comments caused a fight between Punk, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Ace Steel, an AEW coach who is Punk's trainer and longtime friend. Aftermath. As a result of the physical altercation following the All Out post-event media scrum, AEW President Tony Khan suspended all involved, which included CM Punk, Ace Steel, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Pat Buck, Christopher Daniels, Michael Nakazawa, and Brandon Cutler. On September 7, Khan opened that night's episode of Dynamite with a pre-taped video, announcing that the World and Trios Championships were vacated, effective immediately. Death Triangle became the new Trios champions by defeating Best Friends in a previously scheduled match that Khan converted into a title match. The show also featured the start of a tournament to crown a new world champion, with the final taking place on September 21 at Dynamite, Grand Slam. At Grand Slam, Jon Moxley defeated Bryan Danielson in the tournament final to win the AEW World Championship for the third time. The suspensions of Buck, Daniels, Nakazawa, and Cutler were lifted about 2 weeks after All Out, according to Dave Meltzer. An independent investigation commissioned by AEW apparently determined that those individuals were trying to break up the fight. On October 18, Ace Steel was released from the company. Results: AEW World Trios Championship Tournament.